police officers. Those who wrote the law termed them keepers of the peace and peace officers. They understood what the law was really about and what their real purpose was. And every chance I get, I tell them, thank you for helping keep the peace. If more people treated them with such respect, I think they'd respond accordingly. It's dangerous, and I don't think they get paid enough to do what they do. I remember police officers having a much better reputation when I was very young than what they do today. And I saw how police forces can be used to multiply military forces and go against the people in their own land when things break out into chaos. The balance between being too passive or too aggressive, that's where the love and understanding is. It takes love and understanding to obtain balance between being too passive or too aggressive, where you can help people pay the price of their ticket before it gets bigger. And the best time to do that is right now or in the very beginning. Whenever they first initially break the rules of peace, it starts with our children in their earliest development. That's the best time. Even prenatal empowerment, which is a term I've been using for many years. Never reinforce negative behavior, or you're teaching it's okay. Child development was one of the first classes I took my first semester in college. It was a 201 psych class with mostly female students. The day they decided to show the class video footage of real live births, I was unprepared. That was one day I wish I hadn't sat on the front row. I could barely lift my head twice is all, and I felt like I was going to pass out. It was so bad. But one of the things I love about the teacher is what he taught me about raising kids. Some important principles I really took to heart and always remembered. It's behavior modification and rewarding proper behavior. We enforce the positive behavior. When they do good, we always reward the right behavior if possible. And with negative behavior, we never reinforce it, never reward any negative behavior at all, or you're teaching it's okay. So I've known that. When we speak with love and kindness to our children from our heart, we're teaching them how to love, think, and speak at the same time. As soon as possible, we teach them to talk, not throw a fit. My kids didn't ever get what they wanted from me by throwing a fit. Just explain in simple, loving terms and help them understand what your rules are as clearly as possible. The conditions in my life have had its pros and cons. I've learned more about love and hate from my own family than anything else. How many of you can relate with me? How many are willing to admit that their own family has not been perfect? Have you experienced abuse as well as kindness and compassion? I grew up in a family of 10 kids, and we were mostly good, but we weren't all angels from heaven. I love my family still. I wouldn't trade any one of them, not even the biggest abuser, who may have taught me more than the others. And what I learned was, you've got to believe in God just to survive. Can any of you relate with me? Do you know what I'm talking about? I grew up with amazing, amazing parents. Both of them were so loving. They loved all of us so much. My father was my greatest mentor and blessed the lives of countless people. His calling in life required a lot of traveling, so it wasn't uncommon for him to be gone for a week or two at a time, most of the time. My father always introduced my mother as his angel wife, and that's how he'd always talk about her when he was on the road. She was holding down the fort the best she could when he was gone. Our 3 older sisters and oldest brother were out of the house before the rest of us, with 7 boys in the family, and our mother was the best at forgiving and forgetting of anyone I know. But it didn't always save her from a house full of boys. But without some of the chaos I grew up in, I may not have appreciated some of the principles I was learning in college enough to recognize them at the level I have. All throughout my life, and especially the past 12 years. So it was all a big blessing. Nature's poetic justice is all around us,